Welcome to class. Today we'll begin standing. Whenever you're ready, come into a standing position. As you inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, and exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees deeply. If that feels good, grab opposite elbows, sway from side to side. Maybe give the head a shake, yes and no. Allow the hamstrings to begin to open in the lower back. Maybe let the arms dangle in front of you. Be working quite a bit into our IT band today on both sides. The legs, the outer parts of the legs. Doing a lot of twisting too. Slowly start to coil up, one vertebra at a time. As you inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Take the arms out to a T and twist open, gazing out over the left shoulder. Come back toward the center, stretch up, and twist open, looking out over the right shoulder. Come back toward the center, reach both arms up, and then as you exhale, fold forward. Lift your back up as you gaze up and then exhale to fold forward. Maybe allowing the hands to come farther down to the ground this time. Just hanging heavy, few breaths. And then begin to slide your big toes under your wrists. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. Allow the chest to rest on the thighs, and then maybe start to straighten the legs. Feel the back stretch as well as the hamstrings. Deep breaths in and out. Release the hands from the feet and roll up nice and slowly, one vertebra at a time. Gaze up and then fold forward. This time lift up halfway to a flat back, bend through the right knee, rest the right hand, right elbow on the right knee, and open up to the left side, wrapping the left wrist behind the waist for more of a twist. And shoulder opening here. Keep breathing. Gazing up to the sky. Your hand can be on your sacrum. And then slowly release. Begin to shift forward, taking your palms down to the mat, coming up onto the toes. Just shifting back and forth, up and down a few times. Feeling what it's like to have the hips above the shoulders. And then transition to the other side, bending through the left knee, wrapping the right wrist behind the waist. Left elbow rests on the left knee. Breathing and twisting, feeling the sensation in the legs here too. Keep lifting up through the chest. And then slowly start to release. Come into a halfway lift, a jackknife here. So hinging forward, extend the arms straight out in front of you, using your belly, your core here to keep you lifted up. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. Reaching through the fingers, and then slowly release. Interlace your fingers behind your back. As you're folded forward here, try to take the hands away from the lower back if you can, and then slowly release. Once again, stack up nice and slowly, one vertebra at a time. On your inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, and exhale, fold forward. Slowly roll up, extend the arms above the head, and fold forward as you exhale. Nice and slowly roll up, shoulders and head come up last, reach the arms up, and then slowly fold forward. Sweep the arms back and forth from side to side, swaying a little bit, bending the knees. Feel free to take some other creative movements here if you'd like to. And slowly roll up. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And here we'll come into triangle pose. Right leg is straight. Back foot at 90 degrees. And then start to hinge forward, reaching down with the right hand to the right ankle, shin, big toe. If you have a block, maybe a block. Opening up the left side of the body. And again, wrapping the left wrist behind the waist to open the shoulder. Deep breaths here. Notice how your hips are feeling in this pose. Slowly turn the toes in, heels out. Interlace the fingers behind the back and fold forward. Crown of the head points down. Slowly come back up. Release the hands and turn the left toes to the back of the mat. So triangle on this side, straightening the left leg, reaching forward. Left hand coming down to the ankle, shin or calf, reaching up with the right arm. And then eventually wrapping that right wrist behind the waist when you're ready. Opening through the side, the chest and the shoulder. Breathing deeply. Gazing up. Slowly come back. Turn the toes in, heels out. Reach the arms up to the sky as you inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Take the palms down to the mat. Track your elbows behind you. Maybe come down to the forearms. Find what feels good. See if you can come back to that feeling of the hips coming over the shoulders. And then begin to come back, taking the knees and the hips, the legs shoulder width distance, and squatting down into a yogi squat. Pressing the elbows into the knees, lifting up the chest. Then releasing this. Step back to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Begin to drop down to the knees. Come into child's pose. Sink the hips back toward the heels. Stretch forward through the arms. Begin to wrap the left arm behind the waist, stretching through the right arm, still keeping that right arm reaching up. Come back toward the center. And then switch sides. Right arm behind the waist. Keep reaching forward through the left hand. Slowly release, coming back into child's pose. And then slowly start to come up into tabletop. Take a few cats and cows here. Moving back and forth between dropping the belly and rounding the spine. And then press up and back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, reach the right leg to the sky. We'll set up for kind of a different kind of stretch here. So straighten the right leg as much as you can. And then take the left leg behind you. So you're stretching into the IT band and you're getting a big twist in your body as well. Try to take the forearms down to the ground while you still keep straightening through that right leg, and try to square the hips if you can. Probably won't happen, depending on how tight you are. Slowly start to release this. Keep the left knee tucked in and then grabbing for the right knee. Cradle your foot into your elbow crease, the right foot into the elbow crease. Rocking back and forth a few times. Opening up the hip. Keep breathing. Slowly release this. Take some circles with the hips or circles with the torso. You'll feel this in your hips. Go in both directions. And then make your way into downward facing dog. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So with the left leg, straightening in as much as you can. Right leg behind, squaring off the hips. Maybe coming down to forearms. And breathing. Begin to slowly come back up, keeping the right leg this time tucked in close to you, and then picking up the left foot, cradling the knee inside the elbow crease or as close to it as you can, holding the shin, rocking back and forth a few times. And come back into your comfortable seat here. And then begin to just fold forward, reaching the arms in front of you. Relax through the back, the hips, shoulders and neck. And breathe. Slowly start to come back up. Do some seated cats and cows, bringing the chest forward and then rounding the spine a few times. And then begin to make your way all the way down to your back. And begin to hug your right knee in toward your chest. Take a few circles here with the hip. You can release the hands or keep them on the knee. Go in both directions. And then interlace your fingers behind the knee, supporting it that way, or you can grab for your big toe, finding some length in the hamstrings. Keep breathing here. Relax through the shoulders. Maybe come a little bit deeper into this by grabbing onto the ankle or the shin, lifting the shoulders. Come to your edge. And cross the right ankle over the left knee. And start to press up into your hands. So you're sitting. The farther that you walk your hands up, the more intense this will be. And also, if you keep the left heel close to the glute, it will become more intense. Slowly start to come back down. Hug the leg into your chest, keeping the shin parallel, and you can extend the left leg down. So we're doing the same thing you would be doing in pigeon when you're on your stomach, just laying down. Hug the right knee back in toward the chest. And cross the right leg over the left side body and grab for your foot behind you. Left arm out to a T. So you're grabbing for the left foot here. Cat pulling its tail. It's this pose. If that's too much, you can stack the knees. You don't have to grab for your foot at all. Come back toward the center. Hug the knees in toward the chest. Circle the spine here. And we'll do the same thing here on the left side. So taking the circles with your hip here in both directions. And then extending the leg up. Grab for the big toe or interlace the fingers, supporting behind the knee. Relax through the shoulders. Deep breaths in and out. Come to your edge. And then maybe, if it feels okay, start to grab onto the ankle, the calf, lift up the shoulders. Slowly start to release this. Cross the left ankle over the right knee and press yourself up onto your hands. Bringing yourself as far forward as you can, comfortably keeping the right heel close toward the glute to intensify. Then slowly start to come back down. Extend the right leg out, hugging the left shin close toward the chest. And then slowly start to drop the left leg over to the right side. You can grab for the right foot behind you with the left hand, keeping the right arm out to a T. Look out over the left shoulder. Slowly release, come back toward the center, hug the knees into the chest once more here, and then you can take the feet together, knees apart, grabbing onto the feet if that feels good, and then open up into happy baby. Maybe straightening the legs, finding any movements here that feel good as we start to finish our practice. Do what feels good to you here. Then slowly start to extend the legs in front of you, arms by the sides, for a few moments of rest in Shavasana. Notice how you feel, if it's any different physically or mentally. Stay here for as long as you can. Notice the breath. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, namaste.